Hi friends, thank you all so much for coming back to craft with me today, and welcome if you are new here. My name is Alyssa. Today we're going to be making this layered mini album out of junk mail envelopes and then whatever kind of scrapbooking pattern paper you have. So this is the paper pad that I'll be using today. It is Sunny Days by Park Lane, and I will take you through the mini album here. So as you can see, I utilized the window from the envelope as a pocket. And this is just a card that says summertime. I added a nice pretty flower here to the corner. We'll open it up and I have some writing space with a cute little rainbow. I've got roll with it here on this pocket page. So that's a top loading pocket with this card in here. And we'll flip the page. I have a bit more writing space. This is also a pocket here, and so is this. So I just have a little journaling card in there. And then I'm Walking on Sunshine actually flips up, and you can journal in there too. And in this pocket, I just have a tag, Summer Fun. And so you can see those layers there. We'll flip that page. I just have another journaling spot here that says relax. Just for fun, I added a little vellum page there with some flowers. And then I've washi taped this card, Summer Smiles. This is also a pocket page. So I've got a larger journaling card in there with some cute little sunglasses. And just some more writing space. I kind of just washi taped both of these cards on because I might put photos here instead. I haven't decided yet, but this is the last page here, which is a side pocket. I've got Smile here, and I just added a tab to this insert. And the top sheet here is actually vellum, and I just added some lines for writing because I like to journal on vellum sometimes. I think it's just so much fun. And we'll stick that right back in there. And that's the whole album made from my junk mail envelopes and the paper, of course. So go ahead and grab some envelopes and paper and we can create one together. For this project, you will just need 2 junk mail envelopes that are different heights, pretty much. And it really doesn't matter what size envelopes you have, but I wrote the sizes of mine on each one. So 9.5 by 4 1/8, and then 9 1/4 by 6 for my bigger one. And I'm basically just going to be holding these upside down actually. So I open them up here like so, and I'm just gonna be holding them upside down. Then I'm gonna be folding both of them in half. So this one here I will fold in half like that. And then this one I will fold in half this way. And so I'll take my smaller envelope here to start, and I'm actually just going to cut the sides. So the side here, and then this side here. So let me just start by doing that. I'll just cut right along the crease there, like that. And same thing on this side. Like that. Because this is going to be my side pocket on the very front. And then I'm actually going to cut the top here as well, just right along this crease up to the middle. because I want to get 2 pages. So I'll cut this, only going up to the middle there, so that I get 1 and 2 little pages there in my side pocket in the front. And then I'm going to go to my second envelope here, and I'm just going to cut it the same way, where I cut the sides here and here. And this side. And then instead of cutting this side at the top, like we did with our first one, I'm going to do the opposite side. So I'm going to cut the top here all the way to the middle. So I'll just run my scissor along the top here. That way I get 2 pages here, like that. And then this is going to be a side pocket on the last page. So that's our basic setup. And then of course, you could probably guess, I pretty much just glue the smaller one to the top of this envelope like that. So before I even glue anything together, I think the easiest thing is to just cover up your envelopes before you adhere this envelope to that one. So I'll start with my smaller one. And the sizing is going to be different for everybody, of course, just depending on the size envelopes that you use. But I am going to tell you what I'm using at least. So first, I'm going to grab 2 sheets of paper that are 4 3/4 wide by 4 1/8 tall. So one is going to be covering the front here, and then the other one's going to cover the back side or the other side. So I have 2 here. This one is going to go on the inside, so I've already gone ahead and decorated it. But this one is going to cover the front, and I'm going to obviously cut out a shape here so that I can see through the window. And to do that, I'm just going to slide this paper on the inside here. Just making sure that it's really in there. And then with my pencil, I'm going to just make marks underneath this layer here, just directly onto my paper. So I'm going to just make a mark here and here and here. Those are basically indicators of where I need to cut roughly. And I gave myself a lot of space because sometimes I'll go in with my scissors or something just to cut out around the pencil marks. And I will just cut again, just using my pencil marks as a rough guide. Okay, so put that piece aside. And then this one here should fit nicely on my cover. Actually, I've got this little piece showing. So So hopefully I can just cut that off a little bit, and then this should cover up the rest of everything else. So cut that piece off, and then I'm going to glue on this piece. All right, then I'm just going to grab a scrap paper to cover up the inside. And I think this one should fit nicely. So I'll just open this up here and slide that piece underneath, making sure it looks okay through the window. Not that it really matters because you're gonna put something in the pocket anyway, but let's take our other sheet of this size. There was mine. And we're just gonna flip this open and we're gonna glue that to this side. And just make sure the album can still close. Okay, and then you do want to close up your pocket here as well, so I'm just going to pop some glue at the bottom. And we'll close that up. Okay, next we have these two sheets, and you can take the same size here if you want and just cover up each page individually, but for this middle page at least, I grabbed one sheet here that is 9.5 by 4 1/8, and I'm just going to fold this in half on the 9.5 inch side, or you can score it at 4 3/4. So I'm just going to take this, fold it in half, and this is going to cover the front here and the back of this page, just like this. And this is where I created a pocket page as well. So I'm actually going to just glue this whole entire piece here on the front. Let's start with that. And then I'll take my paper here and attach it. And I'm just going to bring it around as well, just to make sure that this can close up nicely. And I did add the summer fun and that little rainbow there already. And I'm going to be creating, of course, the pocket here. So I'm going to notch this part. And you just want to make sure that you don't notch, although you could, but I don't want to notch the back part here. So I'm just going to open it up and just do this side. Like that. And then I can just bring this piece back. And when I glue it, I'm going to glue the side here and the bottom. And then we can bring that over. Alrighty, and then the next page here, I'm going to go back in with a paper of this size, the 4 3/4 by 4 1/8 size there. And we don't have to cover the back because that's not going to show. So I'm just going to glue this piece on. Of course, you can see I already added my decor here. You are exactly where you need to be. You can journal in there, and then that's a side pocket too, with a little card. And I'll pop that over here. And this is going to be a pocket as well. So let's bring back our bigger envelope here. Remember this one with the 2 pages and then the window pocket over here. So we're going to hold it like this, and this is basically going to get glued on top here to create a pocket. And I don't think I left myself enough room to do a really deep notch, but I'll still do one. Right there, and then I'll just glue 1, 2, and 3 edges for that. Oh, but first you do want to cover this up, so you're just going to need this size paper, so 4 3/4 by 6 inches tall. And I mean, for this page, it doesn't have to be 6 inches tall. You could just get whatever scrap, because obviously this is going to cover the bottom part of it, but I just grabbed the 6-inch tall size. So I'm just going to pop some glue on here. And then I'll place this over top. And then you'll see too that my pattern paper goes over the envelope. There's some overhang, but it's not really overhang because the width of my album is 4 3/4. So that's why I made everything 4 3/4. So that would go perfectly on top. So let's glue that on now. Whoa. And then we can place that right here. Okay, we are slowly coming together here. Now we have these pages here. So it's going to be that same size. So I've got this with a little smile journaling spot. And I just glued this down completely. Gonna make sure it lines up with the other page. And that it can still close. Okay, and then for this middle page there, I did the same kind of thing where I just grabbed a 9.5-inch wide paper, and this one is 6 inches tall, and I'm just going to fold this in half. And again, that's just going to cover both sides like this. Of course, I already added that for some journaling space. But before I go ahead and glue this down, this is where I added the vellum page. So you could do vellum, you could do more scrapbooking paper, but I just grabbed a scrap. And this one is 4.5 by 5.5. So really you can do whatever size you want. But for this, the vellum page is going to be slightly smaller than the album itself. And that's kind of what I wanted. So I am actually, you can score it at 1/2 inch just to give it a tab on the side, but I'm just going to eyeball it and fold it. And just give myself a tab there. And then I'm basically just going to glue it to the back of my pattern paper here. So pop some glue on the tab and then just slide it behind your pattern paper. Okay, so you see the tab there on the inside. And then we're just going to glue this whole piece down to the envelope. Okay. And if any of the envelope is showing too, like a little bit is at the bottom there, you can just cut it off. Unless I glued that on unevenly, but I think it's okay. All right, so we have that vellum sheet there. And then this page was a pocket page as well. So we're going to do the same kind of thing and do a notch here. Obviously, we don't want to notch this back part, so I'm going to open that up and just notch this page. All right, and then we get a pocket there. And again, we'll just flip this open and glue the side and the bottom. Just like that. Okay, now our last page here. You are basically going to need the same size here again, a 4 3/4 by 6. You're going to need 2 of those, just one for this side and then one for the very back. So I'm going to use this one for this page. And again, I'm just going to open this up and do it the same way. Slide my whole paper in. And then I'll just make marks along the window there, or sort of along the window. Give myself a little extra space like that. And I'll go in with the same scissors here and just cut around where I marked. All right, and that'll be open there. I'm going to grab another scrap paper just to put on the inside as well. Okay, so really just like covering up the whole album is what's going to take you a little bit, but I think it's totally worth it. And now you do want to cover or glue the bottom here for your side pocket. So I'm actually just going to lift this whole piece up and pop some glue just along the edge here. And then at the bottom as well. And close that up. All right, and my last sheet here with the ice creams, that's going to be the last page, same size there. And I will cut off some of the excess down here from the envelope. Maybe this one too. Okay, now, how does my album go? All right, so that's the whole album covered up at least. And I'm gonna go through and put in my inserts, maybe do a little bit more decorating. So I have this sheet here that I think will fit nicely. And then I wanted to add Enjoy the Ride to the middle. I think that'll show completely through the window. Perfect. And I have one last little flower sticker here that I'm just going to pop into the corner. Of course, I still want to see the sentiment. All right, that should work. And then for this pocket here, I have a journaling card. The lovely part here got a little lopsided. Don't know how that happened, but that's okay. And I added a tab here as well. So we'll stick that in. And super cute. Let's keep it moving. For this pocket here, I'm gonna put a tag that says going places, and I added some suitcases. Thought that would be perfect for a summer album. Okay. We've got this, our fun vellum page. And maybe I'll just add some stickers to the side again. Maybe I'll just stick these over here. And then I'm going to just washi tape this card over here that says always look on the bright side. And I just love how that looks through the vellum too, but of course you can add more things to the vellum. And for my top loading pocket, I have a super simple journaling card. Ta-da! And it has watermelons on the corner. This page is all set, and my last little side pocket here is just going to hold this photo mat, or what I intend to be a photo mat, that says happy on the side there. And we'll just pop that right in to the side pocket. Actually, we'll put happy over top so you can see the whole word. But that's the whole summer album. It looks so cute, all layered up. And we just used 2 junk mail envelopes and some scrapbooking paper to create that. Of course, you can make these in whatever theme you want to make it. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment down below so I can say hi to you. And other than that, I will see you all in my next video. Happy crafting and huge hugs!